The long plank roads built along the cliff connect caves of various sizes, in which sitting Buddhist sculptures with stately and kind looks. Together with gorgeous wall paintings, they constitute a splendid art palace and culture corridor. This is Mogao Grottoes, located on the eastern slope of Rattling Sand Mountain, 25 kilometers away from Dunhuang in Gansu Province. It's the world's existing largest, most comprehensive and integrated treasure house of Buddhist art. Mogao Grottoes is a large grotto temple that embraces architecture, sculpture, and painting. The 33-meter-tall wood structure Jiuceng Lou, or 9th-floor building, is a trophy architecture. And inside the grotto behind it, there is a 35.5-meter-tall Buddha Maitreya, also called Bei Da Xiang. He is peaceful with eyes looking down and faint smiles at the corner of his mouth, showing great love and sympathy to earthly beings. It is said that once he is born, a wonderful and happy world would appear, and as long as you show piety to this Buddha when alive, you would enter this heaven after death. The word Mogao comes from literal translation in Sanskrit and means extrication. It is out of the aspiration to the happy and trouble-free Buddha world that people started the excavation of these grottos over 1,000 years ago, beginning with monk Le Zuan in 366 AD. And gradually this earthly miracle took shape amid howling desert wind. The Mogao Grottoes span more than 2 kilometers with 735 caves. Amongst them, 492 have Buddhist sculptures and frescoes. In addition, there were more than 2,000 colored sculptured figures and over 45,000 square meters frescoes. If these wall paintings were connected with a height of 2 meters, it would extend as long as 25 kilometers, the world's longest gallery. The word Dunhuang in Chinese means magnificent and prosperous. It is positioned in the crossroads of the ancient Silk Road, a famous trade port and international market. Since ambassadors, envoys, monks, and merchants all had to wait for their pass in this place, Dunhuang gradually developed into a center for political, economic, and cultural exchange between the East and the West. Ji Xianlin, the famous Chinese scholar, once said, "There were 2 important meeting places for the 4 most influential civilizations, namely Chinese, Indian, Greek, and Islamic civilization in the world. One of them is Xiyu, or Xinjiang as it is called nowadays, and the other one is Dunhuang." In number 285 grotto, excavated in 538 AD, in addition to all kinds of Buddhist images, there are also gods from India and Greek such as Diana and Apollo, as well as Chinese Taoist images. As a great storehouse for Buddhist art, Mogao also demonstrates the fusion and merging of various civilizations from around the world. It is a consistent absorption and development of foreign cultures that gives Dunhuang such long-lasting life and vigor. As a carrier of Buddha images and frescoes, grottos are 3-dimensional architectures in their own right. The largest grotto in Mogao is close to 300 square meters in area and 13 meters wide, while the smallest one is too small to accommodate a single person. Construction styles of grottos also vary. Usually caves built in early periods have a pillar in front, and statues are put inside a niche carved out of the pillar. Such grottos are called Central Pillar Grotto. Sui Tang Dynasty witnessed Mogao's heyday, Caves built in this period are quite large, usually 20 to 30 meters deep. In most caves, the frontal wall is carved with a big niche, or a tall Buddhist altar is built in the middle on which sit large grand figures. The ceiling of these grottos is also decorated with very exquisite patterns. Such grottos are called temple grotto or Buddhist altar grotto. Besides, there are huge statue grotto for giant Buddha images and a meditation grotto for monks to meditate. Grottos of later periods are mostly reconstructed or repainted caves. Due to the innumerable Buddha images and statues, one of the alternative names for the Mogao grottos is the Thousand Buddha Caves. The Buddha images in these caves vary greatly in size. The Nirvana image of the sleeping Shakyamuni in number 158 grotto is as tall as 16 meters. His face shows neither sadness nor happiness, an indication of living in an eternal world free from aging and dying. The 26-meter tall Buddha in number 130 grotto is a clay sculpture with stone inside. Claimed to be the most exquisite Oriental indoor Buddha, his left hand looks soft and natural, with true-to-life clotheslines, giving this stately Buddha an elegant and beautiful form. Because of the soft rock nature in Mogao, which makes scribbling almost impossible, most of the Buddha images here are clay sculptures with wood inside. Creators used the wood to create the main structure and wrap it with wheat, rice stalks, and then paste it with specially made clay, on which they would carve and paint to create final images. Although the over 2,000 statues in Mogao are Buddha images, they also reflect secular life. What is especially noteworthy is that despite thousands of years weathering, the paintings on the surface of those images are still fresh and colorful, creating a whole with the frescoes in the grottos. Traces of Indian art styles can still be found in early period clay sculptures as reflected in big torso. But with the passage of time, these sculptures are more like Chinese as the style moved forward, as the style moved toward extravagance and elegance, and it reached the artistic zenith in Tang Dynasty. The 7 statues in number 45 grotto is widely recognized as the queen of the top in scribbling. The Shakyamuni in the center is stately and kind, which his 2 disciples Kasyapa and Ananda on the 2 sides are very vivid. Kasyapa is depicted as a seasoned ascetic monk with knotted brows and brooding look, while Ananda is presented as a handsome young man since he is famous for his wisdom and smartness. The 2 bodhisattvas standing beside Kasyapa and Ananda are shaped with hourglass figures. Slightly slant head, rosy lips, fair skin, and magnificent dress, typical of Oriental female beauty. The 2 guardian kings standing on evil spirits at the outmost are very masculine with commanding presence. Despite difference in status, expression, and character, the 7 statues still make a perfect whole. The most splendid pictures of Mogao are frescoes inside grottos, and they are of tremendous artistic and cultural value. In particular, the murals created during the peak era of the Tang Dynasty. The most common themes in Mogao are Buddha, Bodhisattva, and guardian kings worshipped by people. But even with the same thing, the expression is never repeated. This is so-called one Buddha, 1,000 faces, indicating highly flexible freedom of creation and superior techniques of the painters. Such richness in creation makes Mogao the most revered art house. Number 57 grotto is lauded by experts as a beauty grotto, and the bodhisattva in the picture Shuo Fa Tu is praised as a beauty bodhisattva as reflected in her willow leaf eyebrows, straight nose, rosy lips, fair skin color, exquisite decoration, and elegant figure. The shyness and charm written on her face makes her like a young girl in her blooming age. There are also lots of Buddhist story paintings in Mogao, under the brushes of painters who created series of stories from Buddhist statues. The land of ultimate bliss seems to be within one step's distance. Derived from Hindu mythology, an apsara is a celestial fairy in a comparatively low class. Thanks to Dunhuang painters, they take on a new life, dancing with slim figure and flying strings. They are so lively as if they were flying elves in the sky rather than stationary paintings on the wall. The Mogao Grottos boasts a rich collection of apsaras. The total number of apsara in all 275 caves is more than 4,500. And the most vivid and vigorous images in Dunhuang art, hence the symbol of Dunhuang art. It is true the theme of Mogao is about Buddha, but social activities of different dynasties and ethnic groups are also reflected. Meanwhile, historical facets of cultural exchanges between the East and the West are also recorded. The images of emperors traveling, generals marching, farmers working and fishing, iron and wine making, wedding and funerals, merchants, envoys, dancers and pavilions, towers, temples, pagodas, palaces, towns and villages in the murals create an impressive historical scroll. Since paintings on paper from ancient times are rare now, these surviving murals provide valuable materials for the study of the Chinese society between the 4th and 14th century. That is why these murals are called by Western scholars as library on the wall. After the 16th century BC, Dunhuang went downhill with the decline of the Silk Road. However, thanks to dry climate and small population in the desert, the colored sculptures and frescoes are well preserved. Meanwhile, hundreds of years of wind and sand almost buried the once popular grottos, and Mogao was gradually forgotten by the public. It was not until the year 1900 when the scripture storing cave was discovered accidentally by a Taoist Wang Yuanlu when he was cleaning a cave that Mogao once again attracted world attention. As a significant archaeological discovery in the 20th century, the scripture storing cave contains more than 50,000 pieces of paper and silk paintings, as well as embroideries dated between the 4th and 11th century. These sutras, documents, and paintings cover religion, astronomy, calendar system, geography, history, military, literature, and economy. Many of them are rare pieces or only virgins. These precious relics are of great value in the study of history. These precious relics are of great value in the study of the history and the cultures in China and in Central Asia. Thus, a new discipline, Dunhuang Studies, focusing on texts found in the scripture storing cave and Dunhuang grotto arts, is created. In the early 1900s, after the magnificent Buddha world in Mogao came to see the light of the day, explorers from around the world descended this site, leading to the loss to foreign land many hand-copied ancient books, manuscripts, literary works, Buddhist and secular decorative artworks, and ancient manuscripts. It is a huge damage to the integrity of Mogao relics and art. Nowadays, many of those precious articles can be found in more than 50 museums and organizations in 12 countries throughout the world. Desert, wither life, but hopefully Mogao, an art treasure house, and a palace of civilization of humanity could survive and thrive in the desert.